Beyond the lavender fields of southern France and the endless ridge of the Apennine Mountains. South of the wild chaos of Naples, where the mafia extends its shadow to almost all aspects of life. An amazing journey found an amazing end, in the amazing, beautiful and loud mess on the tip of Italy, where on October 6th, a small village transforms into one giant 4-hour-long procession to honor a saint so different in temperament as is the city of Cologne, where he was born 1,000 years ago. And yet, somehow, as I followed along, smiling at the children dressed up in the habits of monks, seeing candy thrown at the relics of the saint, as only the Italians can, watching balloons rise into the sky and fireworks explode in bright daylight because, well, maybe the angels could see them even if you couldn't. Surprisingly, it did not seem to clash with the stark silence and wild solitude that marks this saint and the order of Carthusians that he founded. Saint Bruno sang his praise to the Creator in a very different voice. But the voices here were as thoroughly human as his. It is the different voices that make the polyphony of any song. It is their harmony that makes them chime. They're being ordered to the same, even if they are different. I'm not anyone for the crowds, but that is why my smile never left me. And still, after my long absence, it has been good to be back, to be a pilgrim without constant motion. Year 10 in my hermitage was, well, not very eremitical. I'd only found a few brief days when I had to interrupt my walks for other duties to come here, barely long enough to assess the work, much less to get any done. After a speaking tour in February, I had left at the end of the month for Hungary, where 1,700 years ago Saint Martin was born. I followed the main stations of his life, trying to practice the corporal works of mercy that he was famous for. Along the way, I held a funeral for a bank robber, visited men in prison, sat down with cake at a shelter for the homeless, took on the intentions of the terminally ill, or spoke to an African priest who serves on a ship in Paris, frequented by refugees. I arrived in Tours on the Loire after 2,100 miles and 70 days. From there, I went straight to Cologne to walk another 2,500 on the route already mentioned, all the way to Calabria. A journey to reflect on solitude and silence, which for Saint Bruno was so crucial, but which I also experienced as painful in our modern world. Now, as the days are still getting shorter, and I try to slowly bring things back to order in my garden, to complete unfinished work and start new projects, I spend the dark hours to write the new books, so that sometime next year I can share the magnificent, the painful, and the mischievous deeds of young foxes. Since the stories of this year are yet to be sorted and penned down, I thought in the meantime I can at least share that I finally completed the English translation of my book Via Alpina Sacra, the longest pilgrimage across the Alps. On this 2,700-mile journey across the length of the Alps, visiting the highest, oldest, most interesting or most curious shrines, churches, monasteries and places of pilgrimage. I did so to tell their stories and what they can teach about the faith. Of course, the pages also contain much lament about the weather and the personality traits of horseflies. For the German edition that people can get at live events, I could print large quantities, making a full-color hardcover possible and cheap. To get the English translation to wherever you live, I'm limited to print on demand using Amazon. Therefore, making a similar edition to the original would cost a prohibitive $70-something. That, of course, is silly. So I opted for the following. First, there is the travel diary. Much like the last book, Following Columban, it is a 350-page paperback for $16.95. It has all the stories. You can read it as is and hopefully enjoy it. Now, given that I try to present so many shrines and places, the stories would certainly benefit from photographs, and I imagine that the reader would also enjoy the changing vistas of the Alps for context. So I put more than 450 photos together to illustrate day by day the journey you read about in the travel diary. And there are 3 options for you to supplement the diary with these images. The first is, you can download a free PDF version from my website. You don't have to register, I'm not asking for your email. You just click the link and download the PDF. This link is printed on the second page of the book. If you plan on getting the ebook anyway, or you have a tablet handy while you read the book, then this might be something for you. If on the other hand you prefer real books in your hands, then you can get a separate 156-page larger paperback with all the images. The cheapest I could do this for was $18.90. At this price, Amazon prints it with what it calls standard color. I have the standard color version, and though my author copies contain some defect, I was promised it would not be shipped out this way to customers. These books are a nice haptic companion to the travel diary. And there is, thirdly, a premium version which offers the best print that Amazon is able to do, which then of course comes at a higher production cost. So you have all the options. You decide if you're interested in the books. And if you do not care for Amazon, you can find the ebook and the PDF for a mere $7 at the Buy Me a Coffee site. I'll include links to both below in the first comment. As I'm about to leave for another 3 presentations telling stories about my journey to Jerusalem, if you're in southern Germany, here are the dates. The first episode of the new series will go live on Saturday, the 13th of December. I'm actually not sure yet how many parts this new series will have. Seeing that the Via Alpina Sacra book is fresh off the press, I will include some footage of that pilgrimage across the changing landscapes of the Alps. It will be a nice backdrop, I hope, for the usual reflections at the end of each episode. What will they be about? About our humanity, our stories, and about algorithms and artificial intelligence, and whether we stand to lose something other than our jobs, whether caution is advised even if the doom and gloom of a machine apocalypse can be averted. Is humanity losing something, yet again, that makes it human?